Hello everyone, another Trey here, and welcome back to episode 11 of my Let's Play for Modded Minecraft in version 1.21. Today I want to work on some more Applied Energistics stuff, and mainly getting our controller fleshed out, getting some more automation done with inscribers, and getting that all taken care of. I also want to get into entroized crystals from it's from Extended AE, which is a really cool mod that makes some things that you do in AE a little easier to do. I think I am going to start by working towards automating this guy and also entroized crystals. So in order to do that, we're going to need another growth accelerator, which is pretty easy at this point. I'll just make one of these guys and then upgrade him. Do need more of this quartz glass. And then with that guy, we're going to put him right here. We're going to have to get power into him. I think what I'm going to do is make a little section behind here that connects these two crystals, or what are they called? So let's just run a tunnel right through here. Is that gonna be a problem? I don't think so. That's just the back of our power setup. That's gonna be moving in the long run anyway, and then we'll go ahead and connect up to this guy. I'm gonna need this power. Should I just run that this way maybe? Because this is gonna go into the back of this guy. So that goes right here. Do we have any cables left? Oh yeah, we got tons of cables. And so we're gonna do this, and then I think we're just gonna run it right through here. This, and then if we come down here, can we sneak? Nope. We can jump pretty high now. Let's actually just break this, that's fine. I think that should connect up nicely there. Is this now powered? Yes. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're gonna do is make our first entroized block. In order to do that, we need an entro seed. That's going to require powdered ender pearl and skystone dust. That's pretty easy to do. So skystone, are we out of skystone, or did we put it over here? Yeah, so we have some skystone. We are going to have to go get more. So we'll get this we should be able to sag it. I think we can sag it. Maybe not. How do you... An inscriber, you have to use an inscriber. We can also create this stuff automatically by putting a piece of skystone under one of these guys. I think we might need to do that because we are going to need a lot of skystone. So let's put one of these back so we know we don't use them all, because we are going to need one to do that. Just go ahead and do that. That is working, right? Yeah. Let's get rid of some of this stuff that we don't need right now. I have maxed out on heart crystals, so there are some uses for these that I'm not sure what they do, like the lantern, and then you can use crystal heart shards to make Cupid's arrows and like trims for armor and stuff. I don't really care about any of that. Maybe I'll look at it later, but for right now, we're just gonna throw these in here, forget about them. So how are we doing here? 10, that should be good for a second. Let's do that intro seed. We also need, oh, we're out of glowstone. All right, so let's grab some ender pearls. 16 should be good for now. And then while that's going, we are gonna run and get some glowstone. Should be pretty easy at this point. All Our jetpack has basically unlimited power since it's just being powered from our system anyway. And we're just gonna look around. We might as well grab, well, we don't really need diamonds anymore either. Wow, the jetpack moves around so fast, it's hard to stop sometimes. I'm gonna grab a bunch of glowstone, I'll see you guys in a minute. So now I've got a little more glowstone to work with. I did find out, unfortunately, that there's no glowstone GeOre, so that's not gonna be an option. We're gonna have to use another way to automate glowstone. But we should now be able to use this. Actually, I didn't grab the ender pearl dust. Grab that. Oh, that's tons. Okay, probably didn't need quite that much. But it'll be useful in the future. Alright, so an intro seed. It actually gives 2 at a time, which is great. And then you're going to take a fluix block, which we are going to need some more fluix. We put that here. We take the seed and put it here. And now we've got a budding, fully entroized fluix block. And that's going to start to grow these entro crystals, which is great. The next thing we're going to want to do is automate these 2 guys. So last episode, I built this whole contraption with these guys, and I realized after reviewing it that I actually don't need any of this, I don't think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this guy. I'm actually going to take our take this guy and take, oh my gosh, gotta get that glass in there, and take this guy, and we're gonna make a new upgrade for these guys, and it is the one that automatically smelts things when it's broken. So it's called, is it the upgrade smelter auto upgrade for block drops? Yeah, I think it's this one. So we have to make a bunch of these guys. We ran out of cobblestone. Actually, what does it take? There's actually a cobblestone cell right here. 16K storage. This actually gives your AE system unlimited cobblestone in this cell. So I think I might go ahead and make this real quick. Which means we're going to need 9. Oh, you know what? We need, oh yeah, regular Certus quartz. So we're going to need 9 logic processors. We're going to need, I think it's 3 Certus. So let's go ahead and do this and do this. And that's going to go ahead and make us those. While that's going, how much does it take to make these acceleration cards? Because those would be nice too. They also need calculation processors. So let's get a bunch of Certus actually. Let's do 3 more of those. We need some redstone. And we need our silicone. Did we throw the silicone in here? We only had 2 left, which means we're going to need more silicone. So in order to make this, we need this guy. And we ran out of these. I really should find a way to automate the dusts. Because right now, really the only way I have is waiting for these little buds to grow and then breaking them before they're fully grown, which gives us a whole bunch of Certus dust. But yeah, then we can make a couple more of these guys. We can also do, oh, you know what? We do have unlimited nether quartz now, don't we? Is this as easy as just sagging it up? I also need more dark steel grinding balls soon. I think it is. So if we go here and we take this and put it in here, oh yes it is. That is awesome. We are also out of sand, which is a big bummer. But this should get us going for a little bit. Let's do this, take our glass out. Throw those guys in there. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of these budding blocks now, and it's still fully introized, which is awesome. Oh, these don't ore mine, which is strange. These out, and let's go ahead and throw these as well as our chips in here. Get those going. Actually, no, I don't want to do those. I want to do these because I want to make some of those acceleration cards. So now that we have what we need to make these cards, we can make a couple of these. Just want to make sure we have enough to make our cell, and then to turn them into acceleration cards is as simple as that. We just need to throw these guys. There's actually no room in our AE system, which is unfortunate. And yeah, so with these acceleration cards, we can actually make these things go much faster. So that one will be a lot faster. This guy is still running, so we'll accelerate him a little bit. You see this bar is going up much faster now. But at this point, we should be able to make our cobblestone cell. All we have to do is make 9 of these guys. And then 3 of these. What did we run out of? Stuff that's out. We took these out for some reason. Then we need some more of this. We need our last one of these. We need one more calculation processor, which is Certus, which we already have tons of on us. And you'll see how fast this will go now. Oop, done almost instantly. All right, and then put that there, and then we'll go back to our cobblestone cell again. Make this guy, so that's our 16K, and then all we should need is 2 buckets of water and a bucket of lava. Do we have any buckets in here? No, but we do have... We must be eating up a lot of buckets when crafting because we don't have very many buckets left. So 2 water, 1 lava. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of real quick. All right, 2 buckets of water, 1 bucket of lava is up here in our tank. Then we should be able to finish up our cobblestone cell. So when I go ahead and stick this in here, we now have infinite cobblestone. So if I just search for cobblestone in our AE system, it says we have 2.1 million or billion. I'm not even sure. Yeah, so we're good for a while on that. So now we're going back to working on automating these guys. I'm gonna go ahead, I made this space in behind here. What we are gonna need is basically the same thing as we did for our other GeOres. So we're gonna need 2 more. Oh, you know what I was working on? I was working on the tool upgrade. So we're gonna do this smelter upgrade. Which requires, we're going to need 1 for each of those, and we need 2 blast furnaces, and then that should get us 2 smelt. Actually, we need 4 blast furnaces, my bad. That's what made us run out of cobblestone the first time. So now that we have those, we can stick those on our pickaxes. Then when we put these in here and they start breaking those, the blocks. Okay, so I had to change up the way this works a little bit. When you have the filter in here set to items, it won't work if it has the smelter on it, because the smelter upgrade only works on blocks. So what I actually had to do was take this out of the filter, change this to block, and change this to the cluster. So the emerald GeOre cluster, as soon as I put that in there, it's going to start detecting those. See how it puts the little flames as well as the purple teleport? It's automatically smelting and then throwing them in here. We don't actually need that. So what I'm going to do is, I'd like to do is connect this guy to our system like here. The problem is obviously we don't actually have controllers the whole way up to there. So how many do we need to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 additional controllers to get there. And 12, and each of them is going to need four fluids. Oh, it's only one engineering processor and 4 fluids, so that's not too bad. We are going to need a whole bunch of sky stones, so let's get a whole bunch of fluids. Where's our Certus? We are going to put a whole bunch of Certus in here since we have a ton of it now anyway. And let these charge up because we're going to need them to make fluids. I'm going to take one of these. Actually, you know what? Let's just throw this in here too for now. As soon as we have a full stack, I'm going to go ahead and turn that into fluids. There we go. So then we need some redstone and some quartz. And all we should have to do now, turn off our magnet. Let those turn into fluids. That should get us 2 stacks of that, which will last us a minute. So now that we have that, we're also going to need to get a bunch of engineering processors going. So let's just go ahead and make a stack of those since we have so many diamonds now anyway. We are going to need more of these guys though to do that, and more redstone. I wish we had, let's take these for a minute, put them here. That'll make that go much faster. Gonna need, oops. Gonna need a bunch of this. Are you out of food? You are. We'll be automating this this goo at some point as well. It's actually a pretty fun build. Then we gotta go smelt this up. How's our cell doing? Not great. We desperately need another cell. Take these and all these, move these over here along with these. We do need some sky stone, so I'm gonna go collect some of that. All right, now that we've got a bunch of sky stone, we can go ahead and get these guys. Now, I think this might need to be smelted to make a controller, but let's see what happens first. Where's the actual controller? There it is. Yeah, so that has to be smelted sky stone. So we're gonna take a whole stack of that, put it right here. And now that we've got all that, we should be able to make We should be able to make our controllers. So let's go ahead and see, throw these in as well. 12 controllers. And we're going to, do we have a wrench? Do we have any kind of wrench? Thought we had made one earlier. We made a configurator. That should work, right? Yeah. So let's go ahead and controller this up. Oops. This guy. At some point we will do this whole cube. Yeah, so that should connect this guy to our system. Really, I could have put it anywhere, but this is where I want it to be in the long run, so I figured I'd just do it now. So that's where it's supposed to be. But this any ME interface, as I've said before, basically just anything that's thrown inside of this will get dropped directly into our Applied Energistics system, which means having this right here, anytime I want to have things go directly into our ME system, all I have to do is go like this, because that does count as an inventory. I'll just right click that. Now this will automatically smelt these items, throw them into, and throw them directly into our AE system. Take this guy out of here, which means we don't need this chest anymore. Then we're going to go ahead and make our block breakers. Oop, I missed some iron GeOre. So these guys, we're going to put one here, except I want it to be, can I spin this? Not with this guy. So there's another wrench. I don't want this wrench right now. There's a wrench from Just Dire Things that works better for this. Right here, Ferrocore wrench. Go ahead and make him real quick, and then I should be able to just, there we go. It doesn't really matter which way this points, to be honest. I'm just picky. So that goes like that. This guy is gonna go similarly like that. He's got power now. We're going to check his area. If we do move offset on the X radius, did that go, that went that way, so that's not the way we want to go. So let's go back down, and then this guy went the wrong way. So we want to make sure that is on the block. It is, and then we're going to extend it on the X and the Y. Yeah, or the X and the Z, and then also the Y. Okay, and that should fill this whole area, right? Yeah, and then we want to tell it only, we want to do an allow list. We want it to break blocks that drop Certus quartz crystals, right? And then we're also going to need another Celestigem pickaxe, which is right here. We're actually going to need two, because we're going to need one for the other side. And then we're going to want the drops teleporter. Two of these guys again. hopefully we have enough of this. We have enough for one. And then we are going to need some more obsidian again. So where's our lava? We'll take those. You may have also noticed that I keep forgetting to turn this so that it's actually dumping into here, but it should be good now. All right, so we've got obsidian. Drops teleporter requires 2 more Eyes of Ender or Ender chests. Then go here, boop, boop. All right, so we got 2 more pickaxes. I want both of these to be linked to this guy. So now, as soon as I throw this guy in here, let's make sure everything is correct, because we don't want it breaking that block. Sounds to be correct. That is going to start breaking Certus whenever it's fully grown and putting it directly into our system, and that should be good. Then we can go ahead and turn the rendering off on there so we can't see it, and that's a completed automation of Certus quartz. The next thing we're going to want to do is this stuff, and this stuff is a little bit more complicated because it's gonna keep turning this block into a regular Certus quartz block, and then it needs, then it's going to need replaced. So in order to make that happen, we're going to need a block placer, an advanced block placer. We can go ahead and break these. So to make a block placer, we're going to need a dispenser, which is a bow. And that'll make us our simple block placer. That does exactly what it says, and just places a block in front of it. We're also going to want the advanced version because that has the extra abilities, just like the other one. So if I put this here, and then I turn on the render, I do want to spin this. And then I turn on the render, and then I bring that up on the y-axis. That's not what I meant to do. I want to offset it on the y-axis. And then I want to offset it on the z-axis like that. All right, so this is the one place that I want this to place a block. I want it to place a Fluix block. And then I want to give it a Fluix block. And I immediately went ahead and put that Fluix block there. Perfect. Next thing that I'm going to need is a clicker. So we go ahead and we make another dispenser. Another ender pearl. I'm going to check my blaze rod soon. So a clicker basically does what it says. It'll click or left click or right click on a block that's sitting right in front of it. If we do the advanced version, it does the same thing, except you can set the range and the filter and all that. So it looks like we are running out of Celesta gems, which is awesome. Let me go ahead and cook up some of these and I'll be right back. All right, so now we have a whole bunch more Celesta gems. We can go ahead and finish making our clicker. So if we take this guy and we put him like that, let's get our wrench. We should be able to, so if you take the machine settings copier and shift right click in your hand, you can set it what it actually copies. I don't want to copy any of this stuff. I just want to copy the area. And then we copy the area of this guy and we rate him there. And then we turn on the render area. Did we ever turn that back off again? So right click, settings copied, settings pasted. Huh. Must only render the area and not the offsets. Weird. Anyway, so for this clicker, we are going to want to move it out there one more, and then we want to go down one on the Y, and that should put it in the same place as that other one. And then what we wanted to do is we need some more of those intro seeds. Just make a couple of them. We are going to tell this guy that he is going to right click with an intro seed on that block. We're going to put it on an allow list. It also needs power, so let's get one of these guys here. Yeah, empty deny list. So it will right click that on there now. And turn it into these budding fully introized Fluix blocks. We are going to want to put more Fluix blocks in here. Put 10 of them in there. And then the block placer, we'll take those. The block breaker, we are going to want to tell it that it can break fully grown intro clusters. We want to put this on allow list. Fully grown intro clusters, as well as keep in mind it's going to leave behind a Certus quartz block when that fully degenerates. So if we find the regular Certus quartz block and put that there, we'll tell it can break both of those. And then we're going to put that in there. We do need to make sure that this is set up in the right area. So let's take this out for a second. We're going to go ahead. Let's turn this render area off. We're going to move this guy in the Z direction there, and then do full block space there, there, and there. Is that going to fill this whole area? Yes. So that's what we want to see. Then if we go ahead and throw this pickaxe in there, it's going to start breaking those, putting them directly in the AE system. And that is basically automated. Obviously, it's going to run out of those seeds. And there it broke the block. It placed a new one, turned it into introized. It is going to run out of the seeds, and it's going to run out of Fluix blocks because they're not fully automated yet, but they will be. So yeah, for now, whenever we need intro crystals, that's all we got to do. Let's go ahead and close that up. Except we do want to turn off all the renders, make sure they're off. Yeah. Fully, basically automated intro crystals. Oh, hello, buddy. You're not supposed to be here. Ta-da. Okay. So now that we have that done, let's think about what we want to work on next. Also keep in mind, because these are fully automated now, we don't want this drawer to overfull. We're going to go ahead and stick an upgrade in it and then a void upgrade so that I can hold a ton more, and then it'll start voiding anything that goes beyond that. So I went ahead and worked on this controller a little more and fleshed it out a little bit. But the next thing I want to work on is getting this guy automated, but I don't really want to use this setup. So this is like kind of a vanilla Applied Energistics setup, but there is a new block from Extended AE called the circuit slicer that makes it way easier to do those things. So what we're going to need for this is a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to want to make sure we have this stone cutter. We also want to make sure we have 8 engineering processors, which I made a whole stack, so we should be good there. We're going to need the concurrent press, which comes from a crystal assembler. So we're going to have to make one of those quick. In order to make that, we're going to need a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and learn how to make entro infused ingots, which is an in-world transformation of entro dust, gold ingots, and lapis. Entro dust is just entro crystals, and you can sag them or inscriber them or however you want to do it. So we're going to need, I believe it was 4 of these guys. We have a bunch of those already. That's pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and throw these in here and make our dust, because we're going to need 4 of those entro ingots, whatever they're called, to make this guy. We're going to need these in-world transformations. So gold and lapis. So 4 gold, 4 lapis. And this is basically done the same way as when you make the Fluix dust. So we're going to go ahead and throw those, and those. It's going to do a little in-world transformation. That'll give us our 4 ingots. Then we're going to go back here. We're going to need the crystal assembler. Crystal assembler is going to require this machine frame, which requires more Certus duts, which requires more of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and break some of these. Let's get our magnet back on. Can't actually put those in the system because we're out of space. So in order to make the circuit slicer, it's made in a crystal assembler, which means we're going to need one of these guys. We are going to need more sky stone, which I think I burned through again. Well, we have a little bit. Was that 8 of them? Oh, these are actually sky stone blocks. We just need regular sky stone, which means I'm going to have to go find another meteor real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, we got a whole bunch more sky stone now. I'm going to go ahead and put them in this drawer. We are going to automate sky stone at some point. I don't quite want to do that just yet. But at least now we also got a phantom membrane while we were out there collecting that. So that's awesome. Oh, actually, you know what? This is a mob drop. So let's go ahead and put it over here. So we're back to trying to make our slicer, which means we need the crystal assembler, which means we need this guy. Crystal assembler. We need an ME crafting terminal. Oh, we need the crafting terminal. That's complicated. We're gonna need, let's go ahead and make just like a bunch of these guys, because we're gonna need them. I do want to steal, I should make more acceleration cards. Although I'm probably not going to need them in a little bit, because we're not going to need all of these machines. That slicer basically replaces most of these. Our redstone, our silicon, we could use some more silicon. Somehow we still have 2 of those in here. But can we make more of this? We are out of sand. That's a problem. We do need to automate sand too. Sand has been a problem. We have the unlimited cobblestone now, which is great because we can use that. to make sand by throwing it in the sag mill. I'm also going to take these guys. Take a couple of these. Make our ME terminal. A calculation processor, which is made with Certus. That should be pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in the system. All right, we got a crafting terminal, which means we should be able to make our crystal assembler. Now, for now, our crystal assembler, I think, is just going to live right here because we're going to be using this a lot. We also need to hook this up to the system so that it has power. Okay, and then in order to make our slicer, we're going to need all these calculation presses. We're going to need 8 engineering processors. We're going to need that, what was it called? Stone cutter, which I think I just threw in here. Yep, so we're going to go ahead and take him, throw him in there. We're going to need 8 engineering processors. And throw those in there. We're going to need all of our inscribers plus a concurrent inscriber, which we don't have yet. We need 4 entro crystals and extra silicone inscriber. Do we have the extra silicone inscriber? I should have grabbed one while I was out and about because I did go to 2 more meteors and they definitely would have had that. Can we make an extra one? A block of iron and our original one. So let's go ahead and do that. That and then some iron. Go back here. That's just going to take a second and we'll get us our extra silicone inscriber. We are, you know what, we're actually going to have to take this stuff out because we're going to need to use this to make this guy. So 4 entro, 3 eyes of Ender. We go ahead and throw these guys in there. That should make us our concurrent press. And then we can throw these guys back in, these guys back in. We're going to need all of the rest of these. I think we're actually forgetting something. Don't we need... Yeah, we need another one of these guys. Which means we're going to need 4 more entro infused ingots. Ooh. Then we'll go back to making our slicer again. So we need him. So now if we throw that in there, yeah, there we go. Now we've got our slicer cooking up. Okay, so for this guy, we're actually going to put him, I think, right here for now. We do want to put a pattern provider behind him. require annihilation cores and formation cores, just like the interface. That's going to get us our pattern provider, and this is going to be the first of our auto crafting system. So we're going to go ahead and stick that there. In order to get that going, we're going to need to do a bunch more things, but for now I just wanted to get that there. That'll connect it up to our system. I wanted to show you guys how this works. So with these guys, you have to do one ingot at a time, and it makes one circuit at a time. With this guy, we can actually take a whole block and throw it in there. And if we get our speed up guys, you'll see it'll make 9 circuits at a time and fairly quickly. If we take a diamond block, throw him in there, you'll see how fast. Yep, 9 circuits almost instantly, which is awesome. And it doesn't take, we don't need any of the presses, which is the great part about this guy, because now that means we can make all of our circuits in this one block. We don't need this whole row. We will still need this guy in order to throw our circuits together, but that's fine. All right, guys, so that's going to be an episode for the day. Thank you for joining me. We got a lot done. We got this whole system replaced and removed to finalize the GeOres that we've got going. We also automated both the Certus quartz and the intro blocks. I need to put some more seeds in here. And we got our circuit slicer going. So that's going to make things a lot easier going forward. Next episode, I want to get way more into automation. I want to start doing the AE auto crafting system, which is always really fun. So thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you come for the next one. Give me a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good one.